Airtime on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds. Have fun.
The following is a presentation of the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Powered by Learfield, this is Hail Southern Live on the Georgia Southern Sports Network.
Go to the pistol formation for the plus 47. There goes Jalen White again, up the numbers, 25, 20. Watch the young bull go again. Wings up, Eagle Nation. Touchdown, Georgia Southern.
Hail Southern Live is presented by Morris Bank. Bleed Blue, Bank Blue. Morris Bank member FDIC. Also brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. Make an occupational medicine. The health of your business may depend on us. And by the Savannah Airport Commission with the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's return live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's your host, the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Eagle Nation, it is great to see you again one more time back at Wild Wing Cafe for Hail Southern Live on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. 60 minutes worth of Georgia Southern athletics talk. We'll get to football here in just a little bit with the regular season finale coming up. Paulson Stadium Saturday night. Deeper than hate. This is hate week in Boone and Statesboro, all across these fan bases for Georgia Southern and Appalachian State. We'll kick it off at 6 from Paulson on Blue Out and Senior Night. We're going to honor in the neighborhood of 24 seniors who will play for the final time in the prettiest little stadium in America. We will be on at 4 o'clock with the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show. Very simply, the winner is bowl eligible. The loser has their season come to an end. We'll talk about that plenty more a little bit later on with head football coach Clay Helton. Going to be joined by kicker Alex Raynor a little bit later on, his third year serving as Georgia Southern's place kicker. But we'll begin tonight with a little bit of Georgia Southern men's golf, a top 25 program. They have really built something special over these last few years. All-Americans, U.S. Open, amateur championships. They have really done the thing. And to talk about that, please welcome in one of my favorite people, golf head coach Carter Collins to Wild Wing Cafe.
Thanks for having me, Danny. Thank you.
It is always good to catch up with you.
Yes, sir.
Now, late last week, as I was walking into Hanner Fieldhouse, you looked like you're right in the middle of a recruiting visit. And like coaches always say, it's always recruiting season.
Always. You know, once our door closes on the fall season, it immediately opens up for recruiting throughout the rest of the winter until we pick things back up in the spring. So we're right in the middle of all that.
Had a really successful fall. You don't have an event coming up until February when you bring the Sharkey back to Statesboro on February 5th and 6th. Actually, 2 events that week. You're going to Gainesville that weekend and the Gator Invitational on the 11th and the 12th. But as you have this program where it is, how do you have to maintain it?
I think you just keep doing what you're doing. We're lucky to have a lot of very high-quality student athletes who are not only great, talented golfers, but very high-character individuals. And I think just going through the process that we do and let the results play out as they do, and I think that's the biggest part about what makes our program maybe a little different than some programs have been a part in the past and other programs we compete against is we don't focus on maintaining, we don't focus on improving so much result-wise. We focus on how good is our process and how good can we make it.
How do you go about finding high-character individuals?
I mean, you know, there's definitely some luck involved in recruiting, and you know, we've taken chances on some kids that have just been phenomenal. And you know, I'd be crazy to sit here and say we know every person that comes in, but we try and have more good kids, and I feel like if you have more good kids on one side, then they'll take care of the rest on the other. They'll help show the way and lead by example, and we've just gotten really lucky with some recruits.
We could spend the entire show talking about what Ben Carr has done, what Stephen Fisk has done. We'll actually get to him in just a little bit. But with signing day just taking place not too long ago, making it official with Bryson Jones, a fairly local product, I know you are jazzed to have him join your program.
Yep, very pumped about Bryson. He's a 3.98 GPA, high character individual, very well respected in his local community, Thomasville. He has a really cool story too. So, a lot of the kids we recruit grew up pulling for Power 5 schools that have different logos than us, different conferences than us, and it's very rare, although it's happening a little more often than it has in the past. Bryson grew up a Georgia Southern fan.
Awesome.
On his signing day, if you look at the picture real closely, there's a small stuffed eagle, stuffed Gus on the table, and that was what he had on his bed all growing up. His parents, both are Georgia Southern graduates. They met here in the athletic training area. So it's nice to have someone that has that blue blood in him, and he's not only, he's accomplished so much. He's earned the opportunity to play for Georgia Southern, but he knows he can come make an impact at a place that he cares so much about. So that's what makes it so much special.
Could it be a strutting Gus too? Is it possible? Could it be a strutting Gus?
It could be, yeah. Could be.
We talked about Stephen Fisk just a moment ago, and for the second straight year, part of the Korn Ferry Tour, with the way that he was able to develop, he's guaranteed himself 12 starts. And for somebody that was a 3-time All-Sun Belt pick, 2-time Player of the Year, number 2 player in the country just 3 years ago, how awesome is that for you to watch?
Incredible. We're very proud of Stephen and the progress he's made as a professional. It's so difficult to earn status on any level, whether it be PGA Tour Canada, Latin America, or the kind of the AAA of golf is a Korn Ferry, and then obviously the majors, the PGA Tour. He has gone through all 3 stages of Q school back-to-back years and is 6 for 6. And I would love to run the numbers on that and see who has been able to do that in the country, but there's not many people. You can probably hold up on one hand who's gone through all 6 stages. So the toughness in him, the grit in him is incredible. His talents, it speaks for itself, but his work ethic and all that, he's gotten through some injuries the last couple of years.
Yeah.
This is the first year that I'm confident that he can get through a whole year health-wise and practice like he needs to. He's familiar with the courses that he got to play on and compete on last year. That'll be a huge benefit to him this upcoming year. So if I was buying stock in Stephen, I'd buy a bunch right now.
He was part of the program that you've been building here for close to 2 decades, one of the longest tenured coaches on campus, so you understand how important culture is. As part of that, you guys spent some time last week at Fort Field River Club, and I saw the pictures on social media. Looked absolutely beautiful. What do you think they got out of that experience?
We get to go down there every now and then. They're very nice to us and allow us to come out and play. It's a special property. The front nine's in the forest, and then the back nine's on the Ageechee River. It's Pete Dye Design, which is one of our favorite designers. Sure. He's designed some of the best courses in the country. Trip Addison, the VP here at University, helps us make that connection, and that golf course makes you better every time you go play it. It's a big boy golf course. You got to hit a lot of drivers, and a lot of the tournaments that we play in throughout the year are set up as hard or maybe not as hard as the Ford. So if we can compete there, we feel like we can compete anywhere.
Do you think for those guys getting a chance to play in a course like that, they have to have a good idea of what their games are, but playing at a place like that, do you think they find out what they could be?
Yeah, it exposes some weakness, but it definitely shows some strengths that you may have too. Because again, if you put together a good score at the Ford, you know you can do it anywhere, and that gives you a lot of confidence walking out of there. So we try and go down there as much as we can. It's a little bit of a drive, and it's a very private location, so we can't get total access, but we play it from time to time, and we really enjoy it.
You have to get used to a number of different courses throughout the season, and this year the conference tournament is not going to be out in Arkansas anymore because Little Rock leaves the league, so you guys will be heading to Mississippi, I believe, to try to get used to things down there. When you get acclimated and you have to do it so quickly, where does that process begin?
Great question. So, we're not like most sports. Football, 100 yards. Basketball, 10 feet tall. Everything's the same every court you go to. There's some fringe differences, but for the most part, you know what you got coming.
Right.
Golf is completely different every single week, and then you throw in we're outdoor sports, and you have weather, and you have course conditions, you have everything. So when we go to a new course, we find out as much as we can about that course, and then we try and replicate it back home the best we can. So if we're Annandale is the course we'll play at conference this year, just outside of Jackson, Mississippi, that course is very similar to Ford. So it's our job as coaches to try and get them down to the Ford a little bit more, get them used to hitting a lot more drivers, a lot more long irons into the greens, more stress on the short game around the greens. So if we can get them on courses that are most similar to the course we're going to, that makes up a huge bit of learning curve and helps them get adjusted quicker.
Now, this has been a couple of weeks, but something else you shared on social media, had a chance to take the team back to your hometown of Claxton, going to Evans County, playing at Evans Height. taking them to the fruitcake factory, going to Harry's, going to Murray's to get a chance to give them a flavor of Claxton. How important is that to not only take them where you're from, but just to give them more of a glimpse of where they're playing collegiately?
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to lie. That trip was that made me really happy. That was one of the coolest trips I've ever gone on as a coach. Evans Heights is where I grew up. The school buses dropped my brother and I off. Got some Claxton guys here.
Yeah.
The school bus dropped my brother and I off there in the afternoons. Cool. That was our home. My dad was he kind of ran the course. My brother was on the maintenance crew, cutting fairways. My mom ran the cash register when she wasn't teaching, and I was the cart boy starting about 4 or 5 years old.
That's too cool.
I couldn't touch my foot on the gas pedal and sit on the seat at the same time. My head was about even with the steering wheel. So that place is a big place in my heart, and it's my favorite course in the world. So getting to take them over there was awesome for them to see what's in the area. But, Brian and Felicia Odom are owners, and they're Georgia Southern graduates, and it was important for the guys to see how much they care about Georgia Southern golf. And they came over there, and they came out and introduced themselves, and, there was all kind of people on the course coming up and say hi to the guys. And I don't know, I think it's important for the guys to realize how much they are supported, loved, and cared about in this community, not just Statesboro, but in Claxton and Metter and some of the smaller towns around here. And me being from Claxton, I'm extremely proud of that. And if I can show them a little bit where I grew up, and it kind of explains some of the, quirks of my personality probably, or where my accent comes from. And it's nice for them to see some of that, but the majority of it, I just want them to see how much love and support they have in this area.
Get it ramped up again February the 5th and 6th with the annual Sharkey Invitational in town. We will look forward to that and all the things that you guys are doing in the spring. Always appreciate your time. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll catch up with you soon.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thank you, Danny.
Men's golf head coach Carter Collins. We'll talk Eagle football after this. Clay Helton comes up to the table. It's Hayden Week in town. Georgia Southern App State will cover that and a lot more. Hail Southern Live continues after this, powered by Learfield.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
You need the best players. You need to keep them safe. And if they do get injured, you need the best occupational medicine services available to make sure that they're back in the game for you and your business. This is Leonard Bevel from Macon Occupational Medicine, and that's exactly what we've been doing for business and industries throughout Georgia since 1990. We outperform others by getting injured workers back to work quicker while maintaining the highest levels of customer satisfaction. The health of your business may depend on us. We're Macon Occupational Medicine.
Here's to the fans who show up for the game, finding their spot, staking their claim, towing the trailers, hauling the gear. A tradition of tailgating that happens each year. And here's to the truck they drive, the Ford F-150 truck. Power your tailgate like never before with an available ProPower onboard generator. For great offers, see your local Ford dealer today. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
Did you know that Yancey Rents is a Georgia-owned rental company serving Georgia since 1914? Yancey Rents has excavators, dozers, backhoe loaders, small dump trucks, water trucks, concrete saws, light towers, scissor lifts, and so much more. We've got a huge selection of equipment ready to be rented today. Call 844-YNC-RENT or check us out at yanceyrents.com. With 16 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Optum Medical Center Tatnall, we know you're not yourself when even just one part of you is hurt. Optum Medical Center Tatnall in Reedsville provides Eagle Nation with the highest quality care in surgical, hospital, clinical, diagnostic, and therapeutic services. The physician-owned medical center has been named one of America's top 100 best hospitals for joint replacement and is a 5-star recipient for total hip replacement, total knee replacement, and spinal fusion surgery. For more information, visit OptumHealthSystem.com.
New vision, new identity, same battle cry.
Man, what a great day to be an Eagle. Mercy!
It's time to GATA.
Gerald Green outside the hash. 10, 5, bye-bye. Jalen White, welcome the young bull all the way home. Thompson, what a tackle at the 10-yard line. How much fun is he to watch?
Listen to Eagles football all season on the Georgia Southern Sports Network from Learfield.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
It's a full house. They need a yard from the Georgia Southern 37. Eagles blitz. Snap to Fancher. Give to Labor. No shot. They make the stop. They got the stop. Marquez Watson, Trent, and Karen Smith come out of the pile. They stopped one of the best rushers in the country, and the Eagles get the football back with 46 seconds left in the second quarter. Eagle fans, remember that Morris Bank is the presenting sponsor for the 2022 Georgia Southern football season. Morris Bank is rooted in Eagle Nation, and most of the leadership team are Georgia Southern alumni. Bleed Blue, Bank Blue, Morris Bank. Member FDIC. As Hail Southern Live continues from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro on the Georgia Southern Sports Network powered by Learfield. Absolutely appreciate Carter Collins and what he has done with that men's golf program. We will absolutely catch up with them during the spring. Getting to Eagle football, one game left in the regular season. As we mentioned, bowl eligibility is on the line for both Georgia Southern and Appalachian State as Hate Week has officially begun here at Statesboro. To talk more, please welcome head coach Clay Helton to Wild Wing Cafe. Well, you were around last year for Georgia Southern App State, but you hadn't taken over. Now that this is your show, what have you heard about this rivalry, and how amped are you to see App State on the other sideline for the first time?
Well, one, it means so much. You can tell it means so much to our players, so much to our fan base, all of Eagle Nation. It is Hate Week, and these are two good universities that love to compete against each other, and what a special deal it's going to be. I mean, Saturday at Paulson, Saturday night with two teams that it's win or go home.
Yep.
And so not only are we honoring over 20 seniors, but having the opportunity to really earn another game with them, that's a special opportunity, and you're doing it against your rival.
I asked you about this earlier today at your press conference. It's just your first year. But it seems that with all you've had to build and all that you've tried to create in such a short amount of time for these seniors, it's the only year that you get with them. So how much more did you have to value those relationships?
Yeah, you know, it's special. It's one of the more special years of my 27 years because this was a group of men that we sat down last November and said, hey, here's the vision, and, you know, we're going to go build something special, and you're going to be the foundation of it and need your help to do it. And these guys have come in, they've produced a culture that these guys play for each other. They play with toughness, they play with discipline, they play together, and they play for each other, and that's important. And so you look up, and these guys have accomplished getting, you know, a Power 5 win, a top 25 win. Now they got the opportunity to go earn, you know, a win against your rival and earn a bowl spot. That would be laying a tremendous foundation for the future.
You were asked a lot earlier today about the injuries that have piled up, and I think we're up to 14 season-ending injuries since the start of the year, but 5 of those have come in the last 2 contests, and a lot of it is, well, have you ever seen anything like this before and all that jazz, but how do you coach a team to absorb something like that?
Well, one, you coach everybody. All 134 men as you start a season, and you know that you have to develop from the ground up, because at some point in time you're going to look up and their injuries are going to occur. And it's the investment that you made in young people to make them not only better players, but to be ready for when their time comes. If you would have told me El Hajfal was going to play 40 plays or Latrell Bullard would all of a sudden be what he was, to see Dalen Cobb doing what he is right now, that's investment, and that's investment in kids because their time is coming. And I credit our coaches. We've been able to, reload with guys that now they're getting their chance and they're starting to shine.
One of the things that has impressed me every week when we come over on Mondays for your press conference at the FOC, it overlooks the Field of Dreams, but it never fails. You look down there every single Monday morning, there are at least a half a dozen guys working on their craft, whether it's the offensive lineman with Noah Fisher, whether it's some of the receivers just catching passes, guys working on their steps. We're this deep into the season to still see guys that dedicated. I think that really says something about what you've built together.
Yeah, culture is player-driven, and these guys care, and they know how important this season number one is, and they know how important this game is. And we talked about, on Sunday, that we control what we can control. Injuries happen. Let's control right now. Let's get the personnel lined up that we need. Let's train with a great game plan, and let's go trust our kids to go make those plays. And those kids put in the work now. They came in Sunday, got their lift in. Today's their off day. You see kids all in the offices watching tape on their own and going down and getting work on their own. When you're trying to do something special, there are no off days. And our kids understand that, and I appreciate it for them.
In your time at USC, the UCLA game is something that was always looked forward to, and I know they've struggled with attendance this year, but to see that place packed out last weekend and watch the Trojans get a close one. But as a player, of course, you started your career at Auburn, so you were part of the Iron Bowl. What is a rivalry like as a player?
Oh, my goodness. You could say it doesn't mean more, but – it's special.
Right.
It's a special day because that there's so much pride that goes with a victory. It's not just for yourself as a coach. It's not just for an individual player. It's for a team. It's for a fan base. It's for alumni. It's 365 days of being able to say, hey, we accomplished this against a rival, and so it is special. It is a little bit more different. The blood is pumping a little bit harder, and so our guys are extremely excited about it. When we came in Sunday, even Dylan Springer stood up and said, "Coach, I have a couple words here," and he explained. Those veterans explained what this game means and explained to young people how important this game is to not only to finish this season off the right way, but to do it against a really competitive foe that we love to compete against.
Georgia Southern, Appalachian State coming up on Saturday, 6 p.m. at Paulson Stadium. Plenty more on that. We got to take a timeout. We'll be back with more with our head coach Clay Helton from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield.
University Store is built for game day. As the official store of Georgia Southern University, we have the largest selection of officially licensed hats, polos, tees, tanks, tumblers, signs, bobbleheads, and more. Every Eagle, young and old, can find their favorite Georgia Southern merchandise at our Armstrong and Statesboro campus stores. As part of the university, we support student success by investing our profits back into scholarships, facility improvements, and programs on each campus. Visit our stores today or shop 24/7 at gsustore.com.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Is slow internet slowing you down? Having trouble connecting to all your technology needs? Bullock Solutions has the solution for you. With a 100% fiber optic high-speed network, Bullock Solutions provides modern services with the latest technologies available in the industry. Need security options for your new home? Bullock Solutions has got you covered with state-of-the-art video surveillance and smart technology to give you the peace of mind you deserve. Bullock Solutions has internet and technology packages to meet every need. Visit us at bullock.solutions today.
Nothing kicks off your game better than a handful of Georgia peanuts. Power packed with protein, essential nutrients, and great taste. Georgia peanuts are the MVP for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To score life's touchdowns with recipes and fun facts, check out gapeanuts.com. The perfectly powerful peanut is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
You understand that it's not just grand gestures that can change someone's life. It's consistency, doing the same thing every day for a long, long time. At Georgia Southern, we believe it's you, our annual giving donors, doing more than just impacting the bottom line. You're impacting students filled with big dreams and the desire to change the world. Our mission is to make them ready to make those dreams real, and your gift makes it possible. Because of you, they are ready. Visit georgiasouthern.edu/give to make a difference.
For many years, you've heard that Knox knocks them out. Well, that's because it's true. The Knox family has been serving yours for over 85 years. Just like the Eagles on the field, the Knox experts respond with speed. In addition to their soon as possible, same or next day service, your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed with pest, termite, mosquito, wildlife, and bed bug control. To learn more about how Knox knocks them out, head over to knoxpest.com or call 877-KNOX-PEST.
Powered by Learfield, this is the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Welcome back to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank.
Legs up, Eagle Nation! Touchdown, Georgia Southern!
Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's return live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Hail Southern Live continues from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield, brought to you each week by Morris Bank, and also brought to you in part by Savannah Hilton Head International Airport and the Savannah Airport Commission. Visit them online at flysav.com before your next trip. And, Coach, I want to go back to a highlight that we had played just last segment. That stop on fourth down was with less than a minute to go in the second quarter. Gave you possession back, still with a timeout. Ran 3 plays, and then on the fourth down snap opted not to run anything else, just go into the locker room knowing that you were going to get the ball to start the third quarter. Take us through those couple of plays and how you ultimately got to that decision.
Yeah, definitely. There was 46 seconds left as we started that drive and told Coach Ellis, let's go into 2-minute mode. Let's go try to score. Through 2 passes on first and second down, was in a 3rd and I think 8 situation on that. And Coach Ellis, they had been playing a max drop coverage, thought we could split a run. We ended up coming up short on that run, and we're sitting on the negative side of the 50, the minus 45. And a couple factors came into play. One, the risk versus reward. If you don't make that, you're giving it to them on the minus 45 with a couple timeouts left and their opportunity. The other factor is we were getting ready to have our third long snapper in the game and a true freshman in the game. Knowing that we were going to get the ball right back in the second half, the risk versus reward was not there. We had tried on the first 2 downs to be able to push the ball. On third down, felt like we could split one. It didn't happen. And in that point in time, didn't want to, 1, put a freshman snapper out there, and 2, if you do miss a 3rd and long, which we had not been doing very well at in that period of time, we give them the ball on the minus 45 with a couple timeouts, and now you're looking at it. Now you're looking at it going, okay, wow, we just created further separation.
And we had talked the week before about losing Mark Langston and having to actually talk about a backup long snapper. That's not like a whole lot of teams have to do with it. It's certainly not a 3rd or 4th team long snapper, because when Jackson Wheeler goes down, we know, okay, it was either going to be Nathan Tillman or Gaines Wood. Both were warming up. You go with Gaines, and at least the chances he got during the second half, seemed like he came through very well out of North Atlanta.
Yeah, Gaines did a wonderful job, and proud for him. We always talk about you never know when your opportunity is there, and you never probably think as a third-string long snapper you're going to get that opportunity in a season. Those guys go out each and every day and work their craft and master their craft, and then all of a sudden you get that opportunity, and he goes out there and he pitches strikes. Proud for him. He did a really nice job in that second half and in a tough situation.
If you have any questions tonight for Coach Helton or any of our other guests, you can submit those on Facebook Live in the comments section. You can also send us a tweet at GS Sports Network. One of the major storylines going into the game was that Marshall defense. They were top 10 in the country in a number of categories, but they were only giving up 82 yards on the ground. That was number 3 in the FBS. You rushed for over 100 yards in the first quarter. Jalen White looked outstanding. They never really slowed it down. You were averaging about 6 yards per carry for much of the game. You more than doubled what they were giving up. And I know Jalen going down certainly hurt things, but how did you find that success against them with the run game?
Yeah, when we went into the game, we thought there was 2 areas that we had to be really, really good at. One is when we had even numbers, our offensive line had to win in the run game, and they did. And I don't know if I've seen a better performance by a runner than Jalen and what he was able to accomplish for those 3 quarters. It was special. And so you look up and the runners have 193 yards on the night running the football. That was the first phase. We knew we needed to take some pressure off of Kyle, especially with how talented their secondary was, especially on third downs. The second part of it is we knew that we had to be good on third down and finish drives, extend drives, and we weren't able to do that. We look up and you're 2 of 11 on the night, and we had 2 turnovers on the plus side. The one that really hurt was the 26-yard line. About 11 minutes to go, getting ready to cut it to a one-score game, and that was kind of a dagger to us. So, I really thought the run game really came through for us. The second phase was the third down efficiency and finishing in the red zone, and we didn't get that done.
And then to their credit, they take over with close to 11 minutes left, and they don't give you the ball back until there's 11 seconds left in the game. They converted on third down 4 different times. I can recall Cam Fancher's QB keeper on 3rd and 10 where he gets the first. You did use your timeouts to try to limit what they were attempting to do. It's 18 plays worth, but by the time you got the ball back, there wasn't time to do anything.
Yeah, we looked up, and, at some point in time, your defense has so many plays that it's hard to withstand. And they got into the 83 play range, and that's not counting the penalties too. So when you end up having 83 plays and you have that amount against an effective running game, one of the better runners, and not only in our conference but in the nation, that can wear you. And I thought our defense gave us the opportunity to win the game.
Yeah.
They bend, but they didn't break. To hold Marshall to 23 points. We're an offense that can put up 30-plus points at any point in time, and we didn't get that done. Some huge stops by our defense. You heard one of them on the 4th and 1 that I thought was a huge play
for sure.
right before the half. They did the things that we needed them to do to keep us in the game.
Only giving up 3 points after halftime, and we made the comment during the broadcast a number of occasions that it seemed like Georgia Southern was tackling pretty well, whether it was Laburn, whether it was the return of Ali. Weren't expecting to see him, but he comes in, actually leads them in rushing, whether it was Fancher, whether it was Payne. It just seemed that the issue, they were getting a little bit too far downfield before that first contact was happening.
Yeah, definitely. They were able to make some third and manageables. They're
right.
9 of 20 on the night, right about 50%, and they're sitting there with a lot of 3rd and 1 to 3s. And so, even though we were getting the ball down, they were getting 4 to 5 yards a clip. They stuck to it and ended up playing really nice ball control offense. I think anytime you go on the road, I think Coach did a nice job. He packed a really good defense. He packed an effective run game, and their special teams played well.
It was a special evening in addition to what was taking place on the field. It was Ag Day. We had a chance to celebrate our partnerships with Case IH Tidewater Equipment, also with Yellowwood, also with Yancey, talking about the Georgia Peanut and Cod Commissions. But I know you talk about big horses all the time, but to see those Clydesdales roll in and lead the team through Eagle Walk, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was a special moment. Our players got a big kick out of it, and you could just see as you were going through Eagle Walk, you could see all the little kids' eyes. They were as big as they could possibly be. But thank you to Budweiser and what they did for us. That was a special week. It really was of our players getting to go over and have that experience with them, and then to see it on game day, that really made Eagle Walk really special.
Now, through your travels, had you ever seen them before?
I have not. That was the first time I've walked up on it. It is a big horse. I'd like to have 5 of those for the offensive line. They definitely are special animals.
We mentioned a little bit earlier tonight that Alex Raynor, our player guest, will be coming up next, and he's had quite the season, going 15 of 17 from field goals. He's converted all but one of his extra points in his 3rd year as a performer, taking over for Tyler Bass, who, of course, left in 2019. His consistency's been off the charts.
Yeah, this university has been known for its specialists, and here comes Alex, who really was in a fierce competition with Mike Lance and throughout, and really battled back and forth and came out and won the job, and then has kept the job through his consistency and his production. Like you said, 15 of 17 on the year. I've just kind of counted it now. Every time we put him out there, he hits his career long in this past game, and really got us to a point where every time he walks out there, we feel like, hey, we just put 3 points on the board.
When we come back from this time out at Wild Wing Cafe, time to talk with third-year starter kicker Alex Raynor. We'll do that after the break on Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Here's to the fans who show up for the game, finding their spot, staking their claim, towing the trailers, hauling the gear, a tradition of tailgating that happens each year. And here's to the truck they drive, the Ford F-150 truck. Power your tailgate like never before with an available ProPower onboard generator. For great offers, see your local Ford dealer today. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
Optum Medical Center Tatnall, we know you're not yourself when even just one part of you is hurt. Optum Medical Center Tatnall in Reedsville provides Eagle Nation with the highest quality care in surgical, hospital, clinical, diagnostic, and therapeutic services. The physician-owned medical center has been named one of America's top 100 best hospitals for joint replacement and is a 5-star recipient for total hip replacement, total knee replacement, and spinal fusion surgery. For more information, visit OptumHealthSystem.com.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
At Tidewater Equipment Company in Brooklyn, we understand how important every hour is when you're farming. We have an exceptional parts and service department, an extensive used equipment inventory, and we are exclusive distributors of Case IH tractors, planters, sprayers, combines, and more. We're here for everything you need when it comes to agriculture. Visit Tidewater in Brooklyn or online at TidewaterEquip.com, your premier Case IH tractor dealer. To those who work in acres, not ours, we thank you.
You need the best players. You need to keep them safe. And if they do get injured, you need the best occupational medicine services available to make sure that they're back in the game for you and your business. This is Leonard Bevel from Macon Occupational Medicine, and that's exactly what we've been doing for business and industries throughout Georgia since 1990. We outperform others by getting injured workers back to work quicker while maintaining the highest levels of customer satisfaction. The health of your business may depend on us. We're Macon Occupational Medicine.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Opportunity, dedication, the process.
Saverstop reverse layup goes, and the foul. He cuts over the baseline. He dunked it right on top of Talbot.
Oh, come on, Kamari.
Don't hurt him.
Eagles basketball plays here.
Kamari to Saverstop three. He's got it. It's a run after Archie. Here he comes. Two-handed dunk. Oh, what a moment. This place explodes.
Hail Southern all season long on the Georgia Southern Sports Network.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Wheeler, the long snapper, slings to Beckett's a bit low, ball down. Raynor swings the leg. It's got enough, and it is good. Alex Raynor from 46 yards, a new season long. 42nd career field goal for Alex Raynor, fourth most in Georgia Southern history, behind only Tim Foley, Tyler Bass, and Adrian Moore. It's been quite the 3 years for Alex Raynor. As Hail Southern Live continues on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. Submit a question here on Facebook Live. You can tweet us at GS Sports Network. One left this season, at least in the regular season. Winner is bowl eligible. Georgia Southern versus Appalachian State for Hate Week. At this time, welcome in the guy you just heard the highlight from, kicker Alex Raynor, the pride of Harrison High School.
How's it going?
Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here.
Good to see you, too. Thanks for having me.
All right, you've been one of the 11 number zeros this year. You had a chance to do that against Georgia State, and you've changed numbers a couple of times. We're going to start with the one that you wore a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
What was that honor like, something that Coach Helton and staff have introduced this year?
It was really cool. Coach has made a big deal about number 0. Every week he picks somebody new that, represents our program. It was an honor to wear it.
Okay, you began as 99, then switched to 19.
Yes.
How did you start there and end there?
Well, when I got here, I was kind of thrown into number 99.
Okay.
I didn't get to choose a number, and, I really wanted to choose my number, so I chose 19. It was something that was open, so here I am, number 19.
Any specific reason on 19, or was it just one that you kind of got
No
attracted
reason.
to?
I just thought it would look good, so chose number 19.
We just heard the 46-yarder against Marshall was the season-long, 15 of 17 on the season. And I talked with Michael Lance during camp about his process, how he gets centered to get ready to mentally be prepared for a kick. How do you go about that?
Well, I try not to think much when I'm kicking, actually.
Okay.
That's kind of ironic because I feel like kicking's a pretty mental thing. I think it's, 90% mental. If you prepare the right way, it's pretty easy. But, when I'm lining up to kick, I run a few cues through my mind, follow through, short jab, and, everything else is pretty silent in the head.
When you got a guy like Beck holding for you, does that help calm you down? Does it get you in a good mood?
Oh, absolutely. Beck's so good at his job. It makes my job a lot easier.
Working with different long snappers, going from Mark to Jackson and now Gaines with the third different option from last weekend, what kind of nuances are involved with something that happens so quickly during a game?
Well, not many teams go through 3 long snappers, obviously. But, man, we really trust in our guys. Gaines did a really good job for us this past weekend. He was just thrown into it as a true freshman, so I'm really proud of him. But we definitely, are going to work on some timing this week with Gaines. I haven't gotten many snaps with him, so. But, yeah, we definitely trust him.
All right, how do you guys figure out your celebration after a make kick? Sometimes I see bow and arrow, sometimes it's rock, paper, scissors, sometimes it's this. How do you figure out what you're going to do?
It's kind of just a fun thing to think about during the week while practicing. Me and Beck will, mess around after some field goals made in practice and then pregame, and we kind of wing it, honestly.
Are any of these specifically your idea? Does he come up with them, or is it a, hey, I kind of like this, I like this too, and we just go with it?
It's mainly Beck, honestly. Beck mainly makes up the celebrations. This past week we did a handshake, just nice and simple, but usually we do a bow and arrow.
Okay. Also played a couple of years of soccer during high school.
Yeah.
How did you notice one help the other?
Oh, man. Yeah, I grew up playing soccer for the past, I pretty much lived soccer my whole life. I played 14 years. Had to hang up the cleats in soccer due to concussions. Ironically, I'm playing football now. Yeah, I mean, I love playing both. I couldn't be really good at both, though, so I had to choose my sophomore year of high school to go with football, and it worked out.
Did you watch the World Cup today?
I did not, no.
You didn't see the tie, or the draw, I guess, against Wales.
I didn't see it. I really need to start watching it.
I think they play again Friday, so you got a couple days.
Okay, sounds good.
Fill some turkey, watch some soccer,
Oh, yeah.
then win some football on Saturday against App.
Of course.
Now, you had a chance to take part in a couple of deeper than hates against App. You kicked a career-long 47-yarder at Paulson against them a couple of years ago. What is this rivalry like as a player?
It's crazy. I mean, you hear it everywhere. You see it on the field. We really want to beat them this year. It's just it's a crazy rivalry.
Knowing that bowl eligibility is not just on the line for you guys, but also for them, whoever wins this game gets a chance to play one more time. How much more does it add to it?
A lot more. We don't have an option but to win. And we're going to go out there and put our hearts on the line, our souls on the line, and hopefully we'll come out with a dub.
I know that 2019 season, Tyler Bass was still here, and I think about the kick that he made, the 49-yarder with the wind and the snow up in Boone that Halloween. But to simply be on the roster and be part of a win like that, how cool was that 3 years ago?
Well, it was very cool. I think that was Halloween night,
Yep.
right? I drove home that weekend to go see the family and go trick-or-treating with my brother, and I remember watching it. And I was really proud of my boys. Sad I couldn't be there, obviously. I didn't get to travel my freshman year, but yeah, I was really happy to see them win.
Well, the Bass fella has done pretty well for himself. He's been able to go to a Pro Bowl. He was 6 for 6 this past weekend.
Wow.
How often do you get a chance to still communicate with him?
We exchange texts every now and then through a group chat we have. But yeah, I sent him a text after that game because that was an insane performance. 6 for 6 with a long of 56, I believe. Insane.
What about somebody like a Ryan Langan, somebody that also had a chance to be in an NFL camp, won a USFL championship this past spring? What kind of things can you learn from someone that's been through that?
Langan has helped me out a lot in the past years. I remember my first year starting, he took me out to Chick-fil-A, and I was pretty nervous before I believe it was Campbell, my first start. He took me out to Chick-fil-A, and we talked, and he just said, trust yourself. Your body knows what to do. Try not to think too much, and it worked out well for me.
Well, you went 2 of 2 that day. I think you made 1 from 41.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 15 of 17 this year, 75% in your career. We mentioned the 42 field goals is 4th most in program history, and to have your name tied to guys like Tyler Bass, Adrian Moore, and Tim Foley, what does that mean?
Obviously, it's big shoes to fill, but those guys are super talented. Hopefully, one day I'll make them proud.
This one against App, it's at the end of the season, so it could be the last one, but it also could be just the next one before you get a chance to play in a postseason game. With what this team has had to endure this last few weeks, what is it going to take to overcome that and beat App on Saturday?
Like Coach Helton says, it's everyone's got to do their job, play responsibly, do their assignments, and believe in our brothers, and we'll come out with a win.
6 o'clock is the kickoff between Georgia Southern and Appalachian State. We're live at 4 with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. Good getting to talk to you. Have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving, and
Yes,
we'll
sir.
definitely see you on Saturday.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Alex Raynor, Georgia Southern's kicker. You'll see him plenty on Saturday, and hopefully a lot of touchdowns as well. More PATs than field goals. Coach Helton comes back up to close out the show. We'll preview those Mountaineers when we return. Hail Southern live from Wild Wing Cafe on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
You need the best players. you need to keep them safe. And if they do get injured, you need the best occupational medicine services available to make sure that they're back in the game for you and your business. This is Leonard Bevel from Macon Occupational Medicine, and that's exactly what we've been doing for business and industries throughout Georgia since 1990. We outperform others by getting injured workers back to work quicker while maintaining the highest levels of customer satisfaction. The health of your business may depend on us. We're Macon Occupational Medicine.
Talent inspired. Hi, this is Terry Harvin, and I firmly believe that those are two words that should describe your company's starting lineup of employees. If they don't, then you need to reach out to my friends at Select Source Staffing. Talent inspired since 1997, Select Source is owned by a proud Georgia Southern grad. They're solution-minded and truly understand that no two companies and no two employees are the same. So whether you're looking to hire someone or you're searching for a new opportunity for yourself, explore Select Source and check out their postings at selectsource.com.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Hey Eagle Nation, it's Stacy Underwood from Uncle Shook's Barbecue Place at 434 South Main Street right here in Statesboro. We're proud to be a partner of Georgia Southern football in this new era and want to wish Coach Helton luck in his first year. Remember, game day isn't complete without some Uncle Shook's favorites like our slow-cooked barbecue pork, juicy and tender beef brisket, and fall-off-the-bone smoked ribs. Add some of our made-from-scratch sides and you'll be a winner at the tailgate. Place an order online at UncleShooks.com. Go Eagles!
Did you know that Yancey Rents is a Georgia-owned rental company serving Georgia since 1914? Yancey Rents has excavators, dozers, backhoe loaders, small dump trucks, water trucks, concrete saws, light towers, scissor lifts, and so much more. We've got a huge selection of equipment ready to be rented today. Call 844-YNC-RENT or check us out at yanceyrents.com. With 16 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia.
You choose the combination, and they'll cook it in their 500-degree brick oven in just a few minutes. Your own delicious pizza experience using only the freshest ingredients on hand-tossed dough and individually sized just for you. And that Eagle Nation is why they're called Your Pie, because it's all about you. The Your Pie in Statesboro and downtown Savannah is owned and operated by Joe Hunt, a Georgia Southern grad. So when you order your next pizza, be true blue and make it all about you. Go see Joe at Your Pie, and I guarantee it, you'll be glad you did.
Powered by Learfield, this is the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Welcome back to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank.
Legs up, Eagle Nation! Touchdown, Georgia Southern!
Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's return live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
One final segment on this week's edition of Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro on the Georgia Southern Sports Network powered by Learfield. Georgia Power is proud to be a partner with Eagle Athletics. Eric Russell said that our offense is called the Georgia Power Company, and now Georgia Power would like to help you save on your power bill. Visit GeorgiaPower.com to learn more about becoming more energy efficient and saving with their handy energy efficiency tips. Coach Helton back up for the last few minutes to preview Appalachian State. First, though, Coach Alex Raynor, what a class act.
Oh, my goodness. See, pro's pro, and there's a reason that he is as consistent as he is. He's consistent in life. He's consistent as a man. He represents our university so well. And usually when your life is right, your ball is right. You know, and I'm going to tell you what, he executes on the field just like he executes in life.
This is a different kind of week with Thanksgiving taking place on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Class is not taking place this week. Most of the students have already left town. Hopefully a lot more of them are coming back for the game on Saturday. I know you preached about that a couple of different times. But with a different schedule, how do you set your practices up these next few days?
Yeah, we try to stay in routine as much as humanly possible. So, you know, today was a game planning day. We came in Sunday, knocked out the tape, started some initial installation for App State. Today was the players' off day as far as being able to do rehab. They come in on their own. They watch some film. They get any extra work that they need, that they want to on their own. And then, you know, tomorrow we institute the first and second down game. plan. We'll do that tomorrow afternoon, third down and red zone on Wednesday. We'll actually practice Thursday morning and allow kids that are within a 3-hour radius to be able to go home, see their families, and then be back by 5 o'clock. Be back by 2 o'clock Friday, and we're right back into our normal routine for a game.
Appalachian State comes to town 6-5, but as we mentioned a couple of times, they have 2 FCS victories, so they need one more to get to 7 and get to bowl eligibility. This Mountaineer team is usually known for smash-mouth running. They've got 2 of the league's best running backs in Cam Peoples and Nate Noel. Noel left the Old Dominion game because of injury. His status is up in the air. Peoples didn't play. Not sure if he's going to be available for Georgia Southern. But looking at their offense, Chase Bryce, the quarterback, is in his 6th year. He leads the league with 27 touchdown passes, and it seems like these guys take their shots because they've got 3 receivers that are averaging about 17 yards a catch.
Yeah, they can be balanced as they want to be, or they can run the ball. I saw Coach go into a second half and just run the ball 40 times in a row, it sounded like, versus Georgia State. So they have the ability to pound you with the run game, and then a veteran quarterback in Chase that just manages the game so well, the RPO, the play-action game. You've seen his late game heroics this season of what he's been able to accomplish. He plays like a vet. And that's what you want. Sean's got a good team to be able to, has a really, really good defense. He's got a thorough running game, plays good special teams, and, those are things that you usually want to bring on the road with you.
Whether it's playing in front of 40,000 at Kid Brewer against North Carolina and scoring 40 points in the fourth quarter, only to lose 63-61. They go on the road. Texas A&M was a top 10 team at that time. They beat them in College Station. They need a Hail Mary to beat Troy with College Game Day up in Boone. So their first couple of weeks of the season were wild as could be. But for Bryce to be that battle-tested, how much more is it going to require out of your defense?
Well, you have to defend both aspects because you're dealing with a quarterback that has an elite arm, that knows how to find the open receivers. They have talent on the outside. So you got to. It becomes one of those chess matches. It's going to be the 2 coordinators at work. When do you load the box? When do you play coverage? When do you pressure? When do you drop 8? Those are things that you got to make a decision. So it's going to be a little bit of a chess match, and that's part of the fun of the game is to be able to try to outthink the other coordinator a little bit.
That secondary has for a number of years been known as the Legion of Boone. They have the 3rd most interceptions in the country since the start of the 2015 season. And even though he doesn't have a pick this year, he's a big reason why they're All-American corner Stephen Jones.
Yeah, you look at what they do. Again, another team that is, I think, really efficient on third downs and what they're doing. You have to be in third and manageable. If you get in third and long, it's a rough day. So if you want to win third downs, be good on first and second. And that's going to be the nature for us, is being able to keep ahead of the chains and try to get those third and manageables against a really good secondary that obviously, as you just stated, is ultra productive, but also a good pass rush that can get to quarterbacks.
It's a blue out at Paulson. It's also senior night. We don't know the exact number yet. Some things still need to be sorted out, but it's going to be somewhere between 20 to 25 guys. They're going to play one final time at Paulson Stadium. What's this like for a head coach?
It's special. It's special for a lot of ways. One, it's a rivalry game, and that's special for our alumni, our fan base, and our kids. But 2, these guys, these seniors, they believed in a vision of laying a foundation for the future, that they wanted to accomplish some special things and get a bad taste out of their mouth from last season, a 3-win season. And if we're able to do our job and go out there and get a really good win against the App State bunch and be able to go to a bowl game, man, those kids can walk away saying, you know what, we beat a Power 5 team for the second time all time. We got a top 25 win. We were able to beat our rival. We were able to go to a bowl game. And so I would bite off my right pinky finger if I could give it to them. But the fact of the matter is you got to go out there and earn it. And they're going to do everything in their power to go out there and earn it. And I thank them because they have laid the foundation and it laid our culture in place for the future.
All right, what's your plans for Thanksgiving on Thursday?
It's practice in the morning, and then watch practice, then probably watch App State a little bit more. And then all 3 of my children are going to be under my roof, which is extremely special when you have a 25, a 23, and a 19-year-old. And so I got a happy mama. Miss Angela's going to be a happy mama. She's got all 3 children at home Thursday. And so I'll be fourth in that line, I think, when they get here.
Good luck getting 1-0 this week, number 6 this season at 209 at Paulson. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it. Hail Southern.
That's head coach Clay Helton. For Alex Raynor, for head golf coach Carter Collins, and Jonathan Breland back in the studios. Danny Reed signing off from Wild Wing Cafe. Get to Paulson this Saturday, 6 o'clock. Georgia Southern, Appalachian State. It is Hate Week on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.